I know you paid your respects for, again, rest in peace to George Floyd this week out in Houston. What have you seen so far, and what has really stood out that you are proud of as a Black man, and watching what is happening, and just as a human being, and seeing the changes that are happening, but also what needs to be worked on?
Seeing how many people are coming out to protest, not only in this country, but around the world, and the solidarity that's going on, and people coming together and talking about real answers to these solutions, and seeing people start to pour money into the Black communities, which is great because it's like it's giving us help. But I mean, this is just a start. I feel like there's so much more that has to be done. And, you know, we got to keep the pressure on everybody, put their money where their mouths are. A lot of companies are speaking up. A lot of companies are speaking out, but I don't feel like that's enough. We have to do more.
When you were there paying respects for George Floyd, were you able to speak to anyone part of the family? Did you get to have a moment with them?
We did. Yeah, we did get a chance to speak to George Floyd's family, and I think they want to be heard, and they spoke a lot, some of which I'm not able to divulge because, you know, it was confidential, but I can tell you that everything they said, we listened. We thanked them for their strength, and we just let them know that we're going to do everything we can in our power to continue to fight for change. And I think that's what was most important.
We love, and I want to switch gears, the music. We have to talk about it because you never stop. You're a lyricist to the core. You talk about everything. You cover all that stuff. And over 20 years in the game now?
It'll be 20 years in October of this year. Yeah, 20-year anniversary.
Congratulations on that. Does it feel like it's been 2 decades?
It doesn't feel like it's been 2 decades, but at times like this, when you're forced to look back and reflect and kind of sit down, I'm just extremely humbled and just very thankful for all of the fans that supported any and all albums and everything that I've done, and just to see the evolution, you know, even with knowing my responsibility and just trying to make sure that I take that responsibility and do something great with it. I'm up for any challenge, and I'm along for this ride, and I just love the feedback. Yeah.
So I'm taking you back to the days of Lil Jon, Usher. Was that the record that got you your first Grammy?
Was that the record? I believe so, yes. I think that was my first Grammy, the record. Yep. Because I have 3, so one for Moneymaker and then one for Best Album with Release Therapy.
We're going to talk about Moneymaker too. That though was so big. All the records you do are so big and massive, and they're very radio records, but it's like a party record. You can play it in the car. It's stuff that you want to hear, and you know how to make a hit. So that's
believe me, records like that are part of the reason why I'm actually chilling during this quarantine time. Trust me, that mailbox money and what those things have done is out of this world. I'm very blessed to Luda for sure.
Do you know when a hit is a hit, where it's going to be massive, especially when you're in the studio? You can feel it as an artist, obviously, when you're in there laying it down, and then when you finally play it afterwards and you're hyped on it and the production is hyped. But do you know how big it could possibly be once it's out there?
I think every artist will tell you that. I think a lot of times they do know when they hear it, and sometimes they don't. Like, I can honestly say I did not think that Throw Bowl Southern Hospitality was going to be a hit. I thought it was just cool. So little did I know that blew up. But to answer your question with as soon as I heard before I was on it, I was like, this is a smash, period. So every artist will tell you they've had times where they knew, and then other times where they thought they knew.
I just got done watching the video, obviously through Kid Nation. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much, man. I'm talking about, like, literally the reaction that we're getting is people are in tears, and I'm like, I couldn't be happier from the reaction, because that's what we're set out to do, is just really make sure people understand how much music touches people.
Yeah, and it's called Get Along, so everyone knows. The kids in there are so beautiful, so endearing, and the words and just the voice that you're hearing across the track. How did you pick everyone for that? Did people send it in, or how did that work out?
So it was a culmination of a lot of things. We casted some kids, and then we had friends and family and kind of reached out to them. And obviously everyone thinks that their kid is a star, which they are. And that, with that being said, we kind of just put everything together. So much personality and just so much love. And it just takes you back to the essence of purity and innocence and honesty of each child. And sometimes I tend, as adults, we forget that innocence, and it's so good to be reminded of it. So good to be reminded of it.
I think there was a part in there, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, where the words are, the only color you need to see is love.
One of the kids said that, and it's brought up a great conversation in that, you know, at a certain age when we're really young, we just love everybody. And then you're all of a sudden taught, you know, after we see these memes and all this different stuff saying that hate is taught, but it's natural for each human being to love. And so I'm glad that he said that, because again, this is through the eyes of young children. And so that's why it needs to be reminded.
Knowing that originally you were putting out at a different date, it is very timely for now. And when I say timely, I don't mean to take away from anything that we've been fighting for up until this point, but you know, generation after generation, you see what's happening right now has happened before. It looks like there's movement as far as unrooting the system goes. Do you see that happening? Is that why you also moved the song forward and put it out?
Absolutely. Everything you said, that's 100% why we felt it was so urgent to put the song out, because we are supposed to launch towards the end of the summer, but we put this song out as well as Stay Clean, which is talking about washing your hands and hygiene. So with COVID going on, and obviously the current state of the world and what we're going through, this is just has its pulse on everything current. And that's why we want to bring something new to the world, because kids are still impressionable, and we can embed positivity and love into their subconscious and conscious and reinforce it. Because a lot of parents are doing a great job already, but you have to think it's more homeschooling going on now more than ever. So if there's anything that I can do, like I said, I'm looking for solutions. I'm trying to come to the rescue of bringing answers to a world that has so many questions and so much uncertainty. And this, I feel like, is one of my offerings of just trying to help.
I think you're absolutely doing it the right way. I have a young niece, and my mom just posted her with the signs we were making together. She's not even 2, so she doesn't know what's going on, but she knows, she looks at things, you know, she can understand color and faces and happiness, so it's good. And I want to talk to you about Kid Nation, the website itself, and how you are involved with it, and why is that so important to you, and why did you decide to be involved?
So this is something that my daughter's influenced me to do, and I've been working on it for a very long time, and we have so many different subject matters and different genres of music. I mean, everything from rock and roll, country, hip hop, R&B, you name it, we have it. And also just the versatility of the different videos we have, and just the repetition of the songs and how melodic and how just catchy that they are. So we have things talking about drinking more water, about eating more vegetables, about getting good grades, about teaching them about science. I mean, everything. I cannot wait for the world to see it. But for now, they can get an understanding and a clue of what we're going to bring to the world just by going to kidnation.com right now.
Very simple, very easy. We're all on our phones. We're on the computer all the time. So
Yes.
take a moment, get there, show your kids. And thank you for doing that and being a part of it. Thank you to your kids.
That's right. Yeah, you said it best. It's really about them. And right now, you know, people are having these tough, difficult conversations with them, but our thoughts should be on changing the world for the better to make it a safer and more lovable place for them.
As a dad, knowing what's going on, again, what's been going on, how do you teach your kids that conversation? Because you do have 2 younger kids. The oldest you said is 18. But with the young ones, how do you speak to them? And even your 18-year-old, does she ask you questions? And how do you kind of get it out for you? For them?
My 18-year-old is more politically charged than me. So, yeah, she's great, man. And I think having these type of conversations are really good, because it reinforces how we make change and what we can do. And voting is one of those great things. And teaching as much about history, Black history specifically, that they don't necessarily teach as much in schools as they should, as I feel they should. And also just listening, because I don't feel like I know it all. I don't have all the answers. That's why it's great to have these conversations, because they can teach us so much more than we can teach them. And again, that's why it's great to reinforce positive music and positive content, because they're going to listen to something. So why not give them a better option to listen to positivity?
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.